The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Thursday edition of Talking Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, in the SWBC studios. We've got the full cast and crew ready to rock for you today. We've got Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you are with us. Welcome in as today we preview the Dallas offense, trying to find any sort of sign of life right now going up against, there's a pulse. There's a pulse.
Little one.
It's a faint
It's faint. You got to put your ear to
It's got to be a lot slower than that.
Yeah.
Like a seashore. I can hear the ocean.
But yeah, Cowboys offense versus Texans defense today. I can hear the ocean.
I can hear the ocean.
Isaiah, how's it going? We haven't seen you in a bit.
Good, man. It's good to see you fellers.
How
Yeah,
was
man, you too.
Good Morning Football? All
It was good, man. It was good. Who we talked to this week? Talked to Clay Matthews this week. That was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little long hair crew.
NFL legend.
Yeah, NFL legend. What else?
Does he still have the long hair?
He does. He had to pull back in a little bun. He said he moved from L.A. Now he lives in Tennessee.
That's
he lives in
a
Tennessee now.
change.
Yeah, he said he had to get up out of La La Land. So
Oh, interesting.
A lot of people live in Tennessee. It's
yeah,
a good city.
A lot of people are moving to Tennessee.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I would move to Tennessee.
Would you know?
Yeah.
Which-
I would
which
I would
which
totally
town?
live.
Nashville.
I love
That's where everybody's
Nashville.
moving to.
Would you
Nashville's
volunteer
fun.
to do it?
Tennessee volunteer. I get it.
See what you did there. See what you
I
did
would be
there.
a true Commodore by
Speaking
getting out there.
of-
I got
This
one letter
Saturday.
from them in college.
Tennessee?
One letter from
Is
Tennessee.
it signed by Peyton Manning and Jason Witten themselves?
No, it was one, and I threw it away. It was an offer letter.
Have you ever been to Knoxville?
No,
It's awesome.
I never talked to their
a
coaches
great
or
town,
anything.
too.
I got an offer letter from them, and I threw it away.
Why?
Because I'm like, how are you going to offer me? You don't even know me. If you're offering me like that, you're offering anybody like that. You don't even know. You don't know anything about me. So I threw it away.
I would have just kept him for a scrapbook. or
No,
something.
screw that.
I respect that.
I felt
He's not
disrespected.
a big arts and crafts guy.
No,
No.
they
Who
were
was the coach?
2002.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm like, at that point, like what had happened was I went to the training. I went to a camp at USC when they were on top of the world, right? And they had
Philip Fulmer,
I don't even know who that is.
2002.
But
So
they,
like he said, he threw it away.
Fulmer was
Yeah.
Witten's guy.
But USC offered me, and then after that, everybody started offering me. And the number one team in the nation offers you, everybody starts offering you. And I was like, no, screw you guys. You guys don't know me. You guys just did it because they did it.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Just trying to snatch you up.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
I mean, like, what'd you get? Like 5
that.
offers.
He was a Washington alum. You should have just
give a dog.
I'm just
I didn't
kidding.
know
He's
who
like
he was.
all Tennessee. Literally like born in Tennessee, coached at Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and then back to Tennessee. That's kind of what he
I
did.
felt disrespected by that.
Yeah. I got an
dogs.
offer letter from IT
How
Tech,
disrespectful.
and I did not accept.
Yeah, good for you.
I threw that one away.
Southern teams didn't come up to the
Did
Northwest.
DeVry send you an offer?
Oh, I went there.
Mine was Oklahoma
go.
Wesleyan. I got an offer from Oklahoma Wesleyan. And that's it.
The Fighting
That's all I got.
Microfiche.
All right, let's
That's our team name.
when we're bringing that up, we've got to get into football.
Hey, guess what, you guys? This is the first game that the Dallas Cowboys get to play against Dalton Schultz after Dalton Schultz threw the Cowboys under the bus.
Oh, you're trying to bring up some petty stuff, huh?
Not, I mean, he threw it out there.
Petty LaBelle.
Dalton Schultz threw it out there. What he say? You feel like you're in a zoo. Did he say that?
Schultz is a
Knock on the glass.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's the first game
There's
since
nobody
he made those
knocking on the
comments.
glass.
Yeah, nobody's knocking on the glass.
Nobody's knocking on the
It's
glass
ever.
That's made up.
Yeah, completely made up.
That's a hey, look at me. Look at me.
completely made up.
The only reason you even have any sort of
Here
notoriety
we go.
in the NFL,
Oh, here it
Say
comes.
it.
Dalton Schultz, is because you played for the Cowboys.
Oh,
No one would even know who you are
He's not lying.
if you did not play for Dallas.
Ain't lying.
I mean, you're a decent tight end. Don't get me wrong. It took you like 6 years to become one.
He's on a one-shot.
However, you are only known across the country because you played for Dallas.
He's talking on a one shot.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
Talking on a one shot.
You're a day early for that.
Because you know he's still
Dear
watching.
Dalton.
It took him years to learn how to block. Not on Twitter. He was blocking on Twitter all day long.
Yeah,
Like, he's better blocking on social
Block me
media.
at Kyle _Youmans. Go ahead and give me a block.
Shots fired.
It'd be fun. Go
I like
for
it.
it.
That's
All
what
we're
I'm-
doing is
that's what I'm
clearing the
talking about. I
air.
like it, man.
I'm just
Clearly,
spitting
keep it
facts.
real
is all
Thursday.
It's,
it
it's
is.
fine because, Cowboys have a real tight end now, so there's that.
You're darn right they do.
Shouts out to Fergie. So
Wear a
let's,
technology necklace and get out of here, but you know what I mean?
they were tapping on the glass. Nobody tapped on the glass. Just relax.
News and notes.
You and Ben
You see me
DiNucci,
working
just
out.
relax.
Oh, gosh.
Shouts out to Will Grier beating out Ben DiNucci because Grier can focus during the tours.
Now everyone can see I'm mid.
Midi Schultz. All right, look.
Are you gonna do it? What, are you doing this? No sipping.
What?
No sipping.
No,
I'm not a monster.
No.
He's not going to chug. News and notes. All right, so let's start with the good news.
Way to get soft, buddy.
The good news is that DeMarvion Overshown, I pegged him as a 70% guy to play on Monday night against the Houston Texans. The Cowboys didn't have an injury report yesterday because they have Monday Night Football, so the first official injury report will be today on Thursday. But DeMarvion was practicing yesterday. Nice. He was in full pads and helmet during the open portion of media, and I spoke with a couple guys who said he did practice. So DeMarvion Overshown
What's he listed at height-wise?
Demo?
Yeah.
6'2"?
Not tall
I think?
enough.
No,
Not
bro.
tall
No,
enough.
I'm 6'3", and this dude was looking down on me today.
Yeah, not tall enough.
I saw him at breakfast, bro. He was looking down at me. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
You're like, not a fan.
Did you feel disrespected to throw his offer letter out?
I'm
Because
definitely, I'm definitely heavier than him, but he was.
Because usually you get to
6'3", 220 is what he's listed.
Bro, he's
at.
definitely 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's definitely 6'4".
Why would he lie about being shorter?
I don't know, but he's 6'4".
I mean, his actual
True king.
his combine height
Gamesmanship.
measurement was 6'2" and 5/8". So under 6 foot.
Bro, I looked. He had on some slides, bro.
No, he got some length and some height. Dude.
Maybe
Like
you're starting to
100%.
just lose.
Maybe I am losing it. I don't know.
Well, they say as you get older, you start to
Yeah, that might have happened.
compress
Better
a
get your
little
knees
bit.
done, buddy.
Start to compress a little bit like a spring. So Overshown looks like he's tracking toward playing. So I'm going to bump his percentage up to like 90% based on him practicing yesterday, what I'm hearing, and also Mike McCarthy's comments. Who he sounded very confident. McCarthy did that Overshown will play on Monday night. Plus you get the extra day, which works in his favor as well. So I'm bumping that up. Now that was the good. Well, let's stick to the good for now.
Yeah, let's keep going
Let's
good.
keep going good.
Yeah.
Chuma Edoga, and of course you can view that however you want to. But his practice window started yesterday, his 21-day practice window. So Cowboys have 21 days to decide if he's going back on the active 53-man roster,
21,
or if he's going to the season-ending roster. But I'm of the belief that in his return from his toe injury that put him on IR in the first place, I'm of the belief that they're going to look to put him on the active roster sooner than later because Tyler Guyton continues to deal with what Guyton told me yesterday is more of a shoulder issue than the neck issue, right? So it's not necessarily a neck at all. It is a shoulder issue he's working through, and that's obviously a big deal when you're an offensive lineman.
I was about to say, that doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, that's going to take away your strength and everything that he's dealing with. He told me he does have to play with a brace on. He said he's working through it, but when you hear Mike McCarthy's comments about, welcoming a healthy competition, it's not that Guyton is being beat out. You have to focus in on the word healthy in that healthy competition phrase because Chuma Edoga, he's getting healthy. Awesome Richards is healthy, and in the small sample size, Awesome played pretty well against the Philadelphia Eagles, and now you have Guyton who is dealing with that, and he's not entirely over that knee issue as well. So you might be looking at a 3-man battle for the starting left tackle over the next several weeks, and again, that's primarily because Guyton is banged up, and it's an availability thing, right? So the good news is Chuma is back to help in that regard, okay? Now we kind of go to not so great. Let's keep it to the offensive line. So yesterday, out came a particular all-pro guard with his knee and leg heavily wrapped with no pads and no helmet, and it was Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith is dealing with a knee injury. We don't know the extent of it, but it did hold him out of practice entirely yesterday.
Can we take Isaiah's one shot? This is how I feel especially.
What did I say yesterday? Murphy's Law.
Yep, that's it right there.
This
that look
season
right there.
is Murphy's Law.
Yep.
You're getting a swing tackle back in Chuma Edoga, and now, in addition to your starting left tackle dealing with issues injury-wise, your all-pro left guard is dealing with a knee issue.
Against what team?
This is against the Houston Texans and a defensive front that we will speak of today, featuring guys such as Daniil.
Don't say the name. It's like Candyman.
I know. Speaking of, rest in peace to the great.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so there's the offensive line. You take one step forward in trying to shore up your left tackle spot because of injury. And you look to the right, and Tyler Smith is dealing with some things, and of course Zach Martin is also dealing with some things, right? So this offensive line is just it's not in NGB.
Not great.
Not great, Bob. Not great, Bob.
Now, at least like coming up after this week, they're not playing like anybody crazy on the defensive line, right? Like,
Washington Commanders?
Oh, whoops.
Okay.
Just kidding.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It is all bad.
It's rough.
Any other good there, or is it just all bad?
No, there's some slight good.
He started off with the good, man.
I know, but
did
that was a really bad one. I needed to
It
turn the
canceled out
tide
the
a little
good?
bit. Yeah, absolutely.
So this one isn't good enough to be the equivalent of the bad to like counterbalance. But maybe when you add it with Overshown playing, maybe that works. So I had an exclusive Q&A with Will Grier on yesterday.
Okay.
And very insightful. You can see the added maturity that he has as far as his evolution, because he spent some time with several other teams. One of those teams, and he really circled in on this, and Isaiah's going to love this, he had a lot to say about Mr. Belichick. A lot of great things to say about Mr. Belichick. Now, he did say, obviously, when Grier got up to New England, it was on the back end. Well, it was, basically the final year of Belichick. So things were kind of messy at the quarterback position, whatnot. But that's not what Will chose to focus on. He was basically talking about all the good that he learned from Bill, how to approach the game like a winner, how to view different defenses in a light that he hadn't thought of before he got to New England. So just how Bill Belichick helped him in his development, even in that short period of time as a quarterback. And those are the types of lessons that he's now bringing back to Dallas. And then, of course, we talked about it yesterday. His last game for Dallas, I mean, the guy had two in the air, 2 in the ground, 300 yards passing, just under 60 yards rushing. He absolutely cooked in his final preseason game. So if he can build on that and take lessons learned from guys like the legendary Belichick, maybe he can actually be a really impactful contributor, even if it's just from an evaluation standpoint, because you don't have Cooper Rush under contract next year. You don't have Trey Lance under contract next year. So just let this be a wide open competition for QB2 is what I'm saying.
Competition.
Yeah, so let Trey out there and let Will out there. And because, again, we're talking about an offensive line that's really banged up, and when they weren't banged up, they were still having problems protecting your 2 most mobile quarterbacks, so Will Grier and Trey Lance. So
Will Grier season?
Hey, he cooked in the preseason. Last preseason.
Trey Grier season.
Trey Grier rush to conclusions season.
Yeah. Just let them fight it out for that QB2. Let them fight it out.
Interesting.
May the best man win.
Back to Tyler Smith really quickly. Do you feel like it's severe enough to where he is going to miss some time?
I won't
just
know
based
until
off
today.
of your intuition?
I'll know today. I will say that not only was it heavily wrapped, he did have a bit of a limp.
Yeah.
Again, this is an extra day because of Monday Night Football, so that helps. But I need to see how he looks today. Right? If he looks today like he did yesterday, my concern heightens quite a bit. He's been your best offensive lineman, and if he's on a bad wheel against the Houston Texans, danger.
Yeah, especially it gets rough at that
All
point.
the more reason to pull Rush back because you don't want him to get killed back there.
Yeah.
Especially on that side of the ball.
Get there.
I'm not saying.
That's tough.
We're not distracted by tours. We're not distracted by
They're not
tours.
tapping on the glass.
You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's gonna. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
You want to get into a little QB vision early?
I don't know if you want to.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
When we come back here on Talking Cowboys, it's time for Isaiah Stanback to give us a little QB vision, taking a look at the Houston Texans defense and how the Cowboys can try to have some success on Monday Night Football against that team from down south. When we come back right after this.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's Coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. This portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. Got that Quaker code where you can.
Your oats from the internet.
Oh, thank goodness. How's that Black Rifle coffee treating you?
It's delicious, man.
Yeah,
This is my first vanilla bomb.
It's amazing.
It's really, really
You're
good.
sipping on it.
I am sipping.
I liked, you asked me yesterday, you had never had the mocha flavor. I tried it yesterday for the first time. It was really good.
I'm not a mocha guy.
I'm not either, and I was still liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried it out because it was the last ones I had in the case. So
Not a fan of mocha.
Yeah. It was very good. Very good.
But the vanilla bomb is the bomb.
Yeah. They also have like
I was staring right at you the whole time.
they have like a caramel vanilla as well. That's really good. It's like a gold can.
Ooh.
Yeah. Very nice.
Exactly what you just did. Ooh. I can't with y'all.
Off the rails.
Did you have your oats this morning, Isaiah?
I sure did.
Made it back in the building.
That's
had your
right.
Quaker oats.
I was here early watching film, breaking it down.
We'll just see.
Break it down.
What time did you get in? Did you come in last night?
No.
Or was it this morning?
I was here Tuesday night. I got here Tuesday night, but I had a Cowboys event yesterday. Cowboys had a Legends golf event yesterday that I had to work.
Oh, yeah?
Did you get an invite for that?
I did not.
Did you get an invite for that?
Yeah, man.
Weird.
They said legends.
Beamer, did you get an invite for that?
I filled in for
Bro, you know
I filled
where
in for
I'm
Brad
at
Sham.
every day.
I filled in for Brad Sham. That's the only reason why they let me in there.
I filled in for Brad Sham
As
once.
legend?
Yes, you did, and you killed it.
Yeah, I filled in for him one time. Still
for you,
didn't,
man.
I didn't get an invite. That's all right. All right. Since you're the
Feeling no way.
legendary, since you're the legend,
No, I sat at a table.
legend sitting at this table currently,
Ayo.
it is time for some.
Wide 80. Wide 80. It's time for QB Vision with Isaiah Stanback.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, guys, for another episode of QB Vision.
It's the Mr. Rogers for me. It's given Mr. Rogers.
Oh, man. All
Is
right,
it a beautiful day in this neighborhood?
It's not beautiful. I'll tell you that much. But we're going to talk about this neighborhood.
You even got the half-zip sweater, man.
You like that?
Yeah.
I don't have the flexibility to put my leg over my other leg.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that.
Some hip issues.
Yeah,
in your old
hip
age.
mobility.
See, that's why Overshawn's looking down at you.
Yeah, probably.
That
He was
hip
tall.
compressing.
That dude's tall, man. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's knock it out the box. The Houston Texans defense is solid. I'm not sugarcoating anything. You guys know I'm not a sugarcoater.
Nope.
Okay? I know we partner up with some businesses that produce sugar water, but we don't sugarcoat around here. Their defense is solid. Their guy who pulls the strings became the head coach of the Houston Texans because of his defenses. Right? His name is D'Amico Ryans. He was a really good player. Mm-hmm. He's a really good coach. These guys are playing for him.
Really good player for the Texans.
For the Texans. That's becoming a thing now.
You'll love to see it. Homegrown.
Homegrown, man.
So you're saying Dan Campbell should have? Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
That's neither here nor there.
I want to look back. I want to look back a little bit. The last time that you faced D'Amico Ryans' defense was in a wild card round of 2022 against the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remember that game?
I don't want to
forget it.
Yeah. I know people are choosing to forget that, but you can't. If you don't acknowledge history, you're bound to repeat it. So going back to that game, you did not have your best game. You only had a handful of turnovers. I think you had one interception through the air. You only had 230 yards passing. You had 77 yards on the ground. Their defense was dominant. They were in Dak's face. They're in Dak's face. Just leave it at
pressure.
That. Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Well, he's Dak can bounce back on this one, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if he'll be present for the game. I think he's in New York somewhere. But let's get to their defensive line. Let's just knock it out the box, okay? Their defensive line is stacked. Okay, when I say stacked, it's mainly because of these two guys. One guy, I believe, is still injured, and Will Anderson Jr.
Yeah.
But the other dude is Danielle Hunter, 55. Find him. Don't let him be Dora the Explorer in this game. Just put a highlighter on him and track him.
And pray.
He is.
And pray.
This year, in his last few years, he is playing. They traded for him from Minnesota, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
They went and got him because they needed another dude to play across from Will Anderson because they wanted their defensive line to be unstoppable. And that's exactly what they've gotten when these two are on the field together. But when Anderson is out, it's almost like Danielle Hunter steps it up even more. Just to say, I got you guys. I'm going to carry you like a JanSport. But this dude is all over the place. If you guys go back and watch the game against Detroit, I know we were talking about it here in the break. He worked Penei Sewell a number of times. And when I say work, I mean, as I mentioned it in the break, as Allen Iverson, Tim Hardaway crossover / white chocolate, what I'm saying, from and one for those that can go back that far.
It's not like Penei Sewell's any good, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's only the second best rated offensive lineman in the league,
according to Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, PFF.
Listen to those.
So he's a dude, man. He's big. He's physical. He's elusive. He does unorthodox type rushes. Along with him, they got some other dudes on the defensive front that we can go down a whole list, but it's really not necessary because it's more so what they do as a unit. They run a ton of stunts. A ton of stunts. They hardly ever just line up and come straight at you. These guys they're gap disciplined while running stunts. And for those that don't know what stunts do to an offensive line is it confuses the offensive lineman because they will make you think that you're supposed to be blocking them, right? You have an assignment as offensive lineman, and then that guy will engage you, draw you to him, and then another guy will replace him, and then that guy who you originally had will then scrape over the top to where there's now a voided space. So you end up with one guy drawing a block of 2 or 3 guys, and one guy ended up free often. And that happens often. And if Danielle Hunter decides to line up and go against you, this dude has a plethora of rushes to try to get to the quarterback. So their defensive front is nasty. The linebackers are freaking nasty. Aziz Al-Shahir is nasty. Henry Tutu, I like him as well. These guys, their front seven is solid. As you go to the outside, Derek Stingley Jr., he's one of the few cornerbacks that will come up and hit you. He'll come up and hit you. He has no problem staying at the line of scrimmage and being a run force. I think that's one of the reasons why they're so good against the run is because their cornerbacks are willing to get up there and put their head in there. We talk about it a lot in regards to our defense and whether or not our guys are willing to do that.
Yeah.
But they do a great job with that. In terms of their pass defense, their pass defense is solid as well. Okay, so as I start going down statistics, okay, let me help you guys out. Defensive yards allowed, 288 yards. They're third in the league in terms of yards allowed. Okay, they don't give up a lot of yards. In terms of passing yards, in terms of sacks, they are second in the league in sacks. Second.
We just finished talking about the offensive line.
Second. Behind the Vikings, and the Vikings blitz every play.
Yeah.
They're second behind those guys, and they're rushing 4. Good talk.
Against a banged-up offensive line that didn't really have a ton of rhythm to establish in the first place.
You know what else they're second at?
Oh, no.
Interceptions.
I wonder why.
I know, right?
That Jared Goff game has a lot to do with it.
Could it be because the pass rush is
It's getting home, or getting close at least. Yeah.
I'll take that. I'm sorry. They're not second in sacks. They're third in sacks. No disrespect.
Now we're fine.
Yeah, we're good now.
We're
Sorry.
all right.
Second in
guys.
interceptions. Second in interceptions. Third in sacks. Third in yards given up. I mean, top 5 defense. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Is that safe to say?
Yep.
Top
Safe to
5.
say.
Top 5 in all categories. Okay.
What's more impressive to you, the personnel side of things? Because I know we're talking about some of these guys. I know Daniil Hunter's a dude.
Yep.
Jalen Petre's played well since he was drafted at Baylor.
Yep.
Derek Stingley Jr. has been decent on the outside as well. But it's not like these are names.
No.
These aren't the Nick Bosa's and the Fred Warners that he had to work with initially. These guys are becoming names through the scheme. So is it more impressive from a personnel standpoint?
I'm glad you asked that,
or a
Kyle.
scheme
I'm glad you asked that. This scheme is nasty. It's McNasty with a side of dipping sauce.
Okay.
The things that they do are very unorthodox and is very much so schemed up based upon their opponent. So one of the reasons why they caused Jared Goff so many problems the other day is because they were doing double teams from sets that you never see double teams from.
Yeah.
They line up with a single high safety. They want to play cover 3, but in that cover 3, they're able to double team your number 1 receiver. Really nasty stuff. And I'm talking about your receiver can be lined up. So, for instance, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right, was on the left side numerous times, and he tried to run over routes to the right side. Well, the right outside linebacker ended up being the guy who ends up double teaming the crossing route. When they check to their near side, if nobody's taking their guy vertical, right, as an inside linebacker or a roll down safety, if they don't have a vertical threat to their side, they are now turning and going and double teaming their best receiver.
That's serial killer stuff.
It's nasty because in a cover 3 zone,
right,
there's supposed to be a void in that portion of the defense. But there's no longer a void because now where that void is, you're seeing your guy go across the formation trying to get to the soft spot of the zone. You see the safety over the top of him. In your head, you're like, oh, that safety can't do anything because he's behind my guy. Well, what you're not seeing is once you release the ball, the side that your receiver's going to is there's a guy waiting there. He's literally looking for that over route. He's literally going and double teaming your guy from the backside. So it's not even just, hey, we got 2 guys who are sitting here over CeeDee Lamb. We're going to double team him right now. We got him. No, it's like, okay, we got one guy that's sitting over the top of CeeDee Lamb, and if he decides to go in, we got somebody waiting on him. The technique that they're utilizing is absurd, and they're using it on everybody. If you want to run across the formation, there's somebody waiting on you. Yeah. You're not running across their formation unimpeded. And if you do feel unimpeded, you better look around because somebody's going to be sitting there. Somebody's coming out there. Somebody's coming out there. Gotcha. It's really, really so. I mean, for anybody who has the NFL Pro app, go on there, watch some film, just click on the defense and watch the last few games. They do some crazy stuff, man. And DeMeco Ryans has these guys playing lights out because he's asking less of his guys. He's asking.
Relying on scheme.
It is scheme. It is, hey, we play as a unit, right? I'm not going to make you chase somebody around the whole field. Yeah. Don't worry about it. If he decides to go over there, we got him.
Yeah.
If he decides to go vertical, we got him.
Yeah.
Right? If they want to run things underneath, let him have it. Let them have it. No, most teams aren't patient enough to chip their way down the field. They can't run the ball. If you drop back and wait for something to happen down the field, well, we have a dude by the name of Daniil Hunter who's just a hunter.
Yep.
Right? And those guys go eat. So that's why they're top 5 in every statistical category in defense. And it's as bad as their offense is playing right now, it's giving their defense an opportunity.
So with all of that being said, where is the hope for a team that had under 150 total yards and under 50 passing yards last week?
Oh, we had 66 passing yards, Kyle.
46 from Cooper Rush.
Yeah, well, combined, we had 66.
And here I was worried.
Can we find some hope?
No. Offensively, I don't see a glimmer of hope. I think that
Can they get to 150 yards?
Yeah.
Can they find the end zone?
I don't know. I don't know. The weak spot of the Dallas Texans right now is their offense.
Yeah.
Without Stephon Diggs, without Nico Collins, they're struggling.
And that's saying something because they're struggling, but they're still not Cowboys offense struggling.
No, they're not that bad. I mean, that's really bad.
And we talked about it a little bit yesterday because they
yeah.
still have some weapons. Nico Collins is their deep threat. He's their guy that they can rely on to be that over.
Is he back?
Yes, he's back this week.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, without him in the fold, they still were able to move the ball.
I'm sorry.
A little bit.
Retract all of my statements.
Yeah, so he's back.
He's their game changer.
Yeah.
Nico Collins changes the whole dynamic of their offense. Even with Mixon at running back, Mixon's a beast. Obviously, he's toting that thing. They're running, I think, 140 yards a game, something like that.
You know what I found out yesterday too? Yeah, Joe Mixon. He's running 4.6 yards per carry. You know who has more yards per carry than Joe Mixon?
Trey Lance?
No.
Oh.
Yes, probably.
Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle does.
Yep.
And you still don't give him the football. Sorry, just had to bring.
They
it
did
up.
one game.
I mean, one game, and you won that game.
But only 2 games.
Pittsburgh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to paint that picture, but that's the real, y'all. That's the real.
And you're not trying to be doom and gloom.
I'm not. I'm just shooting it straight. I mean, this defense is sick.
But this does feel like the most hopeless you've been for the Cowboys
for a QB
so
it is,
far
and
ever.
It is, and it has nothing to do with how Dallas is playing. Even if Dallas had all their tools, this defense is sick, man. And even, I mean, Dallas is lucky that Will Anderson Jr. is not playing.
Right.
Because those
Is that
two,
for sure? I thought he was just
I think he's
questionable.
questionable. There's a chance he could play. Sorry to keep it.
Please don't
snowballing.
let him play. Like seriously, please don't let him play. Like those two together.
Yeah. Nasty.
It's about as gloomy and doomy as possible, as you can imagine. Those two are sick,
especially if your
together.
quarterback can't run. So maybe use the quarterbacks, plural, that can run. Give yourself a chance, even if only a slim chance.
You're trying to push this agenda,
I'm
aren't
not
you?
trying.
Or
I'm pushing. I am two hands. I have 2 hands on the car, and I am pushing.
Maybe get Rico Dowdle out in some space and throw it to him. I don't know.
Just to give you an idea of how good this defense is,
I don't know. What to
they
do
have
with
2
my
guys
hands.
on their bench that most people around the Cowboys Nation probably know their name: Devin White and Derek Barnett.
Yeah,
And they don't even touch the field.
that's nasty. The fact that they don't have to.
They're buried on the depth chart.
Yeah.
D'Amico is a sociopath, man. But I mean, it's like Isaiah said though. This is a coordinator now turned head coach.
Coordinator.
You got to coordinate. Who gave Dak Prescott and that version of the Cowboys offense absolute fits. Now you don't have Dak Prescott. You have an offensive line that's extremely banged up and was inconsistent with protecting even when they weren't banged up. You're struggling to figure out who's wide receiver 2. Doesn't look like Cooks is going to be activated. His window for practice was not activated on yesterday, so he's not trending toward playing on Monday. We'll see if Jonathan Mingo is on the field on Monday as they try to ramp him up. But even if he is, keep in mind he still needs to learn the playbook and the timing and all of these things.
Who's throwing it to him?
Cooper Rush is throwing it to him, but will Cooper Rush have time to throw it to him? He doesn't have the escape. You have all these things. I could go on and on. All these things that are not working against you that actually make you a worse and more questionable offense than you were the last time you saw D'Amico and he shut you down. Mm-hmm. So to Isaiah's point, this isn't intentionally being doom and gloom. This is just the science of the matter.
Yeah.
Like, this is just how it looks. If you're the Cowboys, you are going to have to figure out how to keep that defensive front off balance. And this is why I say I'm 2 hands on the car and I'm pushing. I'm pushing because you need to add the added dynamic of read options and QB designed runs and things like that. And of course, hand the ball off to Rico as much as you can. But this Texans defense, well, first of all, the offense is going to try to help use the scoreboard to turn you into a one-dimensional team.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, ball game. Against this defensive front, it's ball game.
But that's the thing, like, their offense isn't hidden like that right now. But now Nico Collins coming back changes absolutely everything. Absolutely freaking everything. But our Dallas's defense now with Micah back, you have a chance because Stroud is throwing up some balls. He's throwing them up there.
He's had 6 picks. We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, he's been sacked the second most out of any quarterback outside of Bryce Young?
Now that being said, that's also throwing him up there. No Nico, no Stephon.
Wait, you gave that stat yesterday. What was it? Who's only been? Oh, Caleb Williams.
Caleb
Williams.
I think Caleb's been sacked like 45 times. I think he's been sacked like 38 or something.
34.
34, yeah.
But as far as throwing him up, no Nico, no Diggs. He hasn't had the receivers that have been quarterback friendly.
No, for sure.
So,
but their offensive line is not doing a great job.
Their offensive. We talked about this yesterday. Their offensive line is
bad,
but sort of.
And his tight end's not very good.
It's just not happening. And
100%.
They were allowed. What I say, 17 sacks between the two guards. So you can get pressure in the interior, right?
Yes, you
but
can.
then we also talked about the fact that Stroud excels at throwing under pressure when he has those QB friendly receivers like a Nico and a Diggs.
His velocity. I don't know what the heck's going on with him. He's floating a lot of freaking balls right now.
Think he's banged up a little bit?
It must be because his ball's in the air for 20 minutes. Like seriously. I mean, he has guys running around with
and
Huggies
his
on.
footwork seems to be in the right places.
It's questionable.
At times.
It's questionable. It's not consistent anymore. And I don't know if he's getting overly confident,
right,
or what. But he's
trying to do a little too much.
He's
Patrick
had
Mahomes.
at least 4 interceptions. I went through and watched all his interceptions. There was at least 4 interceptions that he threw where he just like was overly confident. Just I got it.
Well, here's where I am with it, and this is where I keep going back and forth. First of all, it's the NFL. Anything can freaking happen. Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Cowboys can absolutely win this game because it's the NFL, and it's a week-to-week league.
Both offensive lines are not playing good.
Right, and this would be the most Cowboys thing to do.
Love it.
In 2024.
I was kind of hoping that would happen last week.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it would happen against Philadelphia.
And you were hoping it would happen against Detroit. Like, you were hoping it would happen. So I say that. It can happen. It's possible. But as far as plausibility, likelihood, and probability, what's more probable? Is it more probable that the Houston Texans, with all of their weapons and who their head coach is, they come in super pissed off at their 2-game losing streak and they stop their losing streak right there, right, in Dallas? Or is it more likely that this offense that we're talking about and this defense that's improving but is getting gassed now in the third quarter by the inefficiency and the non-productivity of the offense, that they can somehow beat this particular Texans team? What's more likely?
And drop yet another home game.
What's more likely?
That's where I'm at. I mean, I don't think the Cowboys.
I'm over that. I'm over the whole trying.
Thanks.
I have because it was 2 weeks ago. Remember, 2 weeks ago I said I can't. Maybe 3 weeks ago I said I can't fathom the Cowboys losing a 3rd straight home game, a 4th straight home game.
Whatever.
That is no longer in my equation anymore.
I can tell you this.
Is it in your equation since you were bringing up the point?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think so because I
feel like
I just cannot. I can't fathom a lossless home. I can't fathom a lossless season for the Cowboys at home.
No, they're going to win something.
Or winless. Sorry.
I have substantially more hope this week than I did last week.
Yeah, and the Texans have not beaten the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, their offense.
Wait. I want to put a pin in that.
They're going to win something.
I want to take our second break. That's interesting the way you just said that. You have a little bit more hope this week than you did last week. Substantial more amount of hope this week. All right. When we come back, there seemed like there was no hope on the offensive side of things just a moment ago. Why is the defense playing well enough to give you that substantial amount of hope moving forward? More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back with Patrik Walker, Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. All right, Isaiah, you said it. Substantial amount of hope.
Yeah.
It's not coming from the offense.
Nope.
Defense and special teams, is that enough to win you football games at this point in time?
If their offense is playing bad too, yes.
Okay, how so?
Because now it's a defensive game. So now it just turns into a field possession game. Where you're receiving, where you're getting the ball at, especially when
like if you get it at the 6-yard line,
bro,
then
you just gotta get
it
to the 50.
should turn into 7 points, right?
Hey, bro, listen, no.
Oh.
You got Brandon Aubrey.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid, but we've seen defensive games that are like 13 to 9. You know, it's just crazy.
Is
crazy
this defense
scores.
that good though?
What defense?
The
Dallas
Cowboys.
Is? No, but the Texans. But the
is.
Texans are playing that bad offensively.
Yeah.
So like that's my hope. If there is hope, that's where your hope lies. Now Nico Collins being back diminishes that substantially.
But Nico Collins coming back with a hamstring.
I still think he's still going to.
He's a possession receiver. He's a big play receiver.
Another question though: how would you account for the dual threat that Stroud brings you? We talked about this yesterday, and I want to get your insights. How do you cover the escapability of a C.J. Stroud? I know he's not going to run for
Stroud doesn't scare me in that like he doesn't scare me like that. No, he really doesn't.
So you wouldn't put any extra.
I think he has the ability to
run,
run, but I consider him he's like a Jordan Love to me. Like he can run, but he really doesn't want to.
Yeah,
like
he's a chain mover.
He's a chain mover, and I don't think he wants to. And I think.
So you'll let him have those extra yards.
I mean, think about this. And this probably sounds silly, but Micah's motivated. Micah's not only motivated because he's been gone for a while. He had a little taste of blood last week. Mm-hmm. He had a little taste, and now he goes against one of his good buddies, in Stroud, and these guys have been talking mess for a while. And I think he's going to want to get back there and get after him. And then you have Demo, who's running around and flying like a madman. If he's able to be on the field,
if he's healthy,
those two together is nasty. Now Demo and Micah together, that's fast. Just relentless type of defense. Now you have to look at. I'm sure that Coach Zimmer is looking at this offensive line of the Texans and seeing where they're having struggles. They are having struggles passing off twists and games and all that stuff. They're terrible. I mean, they're awful at it. I don't know what their offensive line is doing, what they're being taught, but they're really bad. So if he's seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, then you're not going to see our guys up front just line up.
We talked about that a little yesterday. Yeah. Outside of Laramie Tunsil, they're not playing well up front. So it's kind of the same thing.
Not even playing great. I mean, he's
been decent.
He's having to account for bad all line play.
It's like Tyler Smith. I mean, Tyler Smith is all alone on that offensive line. You're going to have some lapses.
I truly think that Stroud's going to have a rough time getting comfortable. If Zimmer, please get in your bag. Just get in your bag.
But again, Murphy's Law, right? Because you finally see what Demo is fully capable of when you allow him to be on demon time, and now he has bursitis in his knee. So that might take some of his explosiveness.
But bursitis, I mean, bursitis isn't bad.
No, I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's downgrading him to 50%.
No, bursitis is just management. But I'm just saying
he's not 100%.
Yeah, it's a management of swelling. Get the swelling out of there. Hopefully, your body absorbs it faster than you hope, and then you go in there, you pull you get the needle in there, you pull it out. Bursitis isn't terrible.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be okay by game time. It's all about managing his load so that your body can reabsorb those fluids. Right.
Like you just said, he has an extra day, basically.
Yeah, he does have an extra day.
So that's what his injury is. I'm not concerned about that. There's a chance that it can re-swell up again. That sucks because it's just a mobility thing, all that jazz. But if that's the injury, I'm not concerned. But you can get after these guys with their offense. And now again, I keep throwing that in there. Number 12 being out there is different. Mm-hmm. I mean, he literally, that's their offense. He is their offense. And it's one thing if he was just a big 6'4", 220-pound receiver that just takes the top off it. He's a possession guy too.
He'll get underneath.
Yeah, and his stride is. I mean, he's like freaking. He's like, I don't even know.
Well, he's 17 yards per reception, which is tops in the NFL for qualified guys.
Dude, man.
And they've got John Mechie back, too. We talked about that a little bit yesterday with John Mechie coming back, and he's in the fold again, had a touchdown grab last week.
And you have to respect Dale. I mean, he's not a great route runner, but he's a depth guy. He's a guy who makes your safeties back up. And the reason why he's not that successful without Nico Collins is because, like, okay, that's all you do.
Yeah.
Right? So we got you covered. But when you put the Nico in there, now all of a sudden you got to back up, and now Nico kills you underneath.
Yeah.
And he catches and runs. He doesn't just catch and fall. He catches and he's running with that thing.
Who's covering Tank Dell? That's my question.
You got his own. You can't play man. I mean, but Zimmer doesn't play man anyway, so.
Yeah. I mean,
But I'm saying
those days are gone.
Is Carson going to be on?
But that's the thing. One of those two guys, it's either going to be Diggs or Carson because it doesn't look like Bland's playing again this week.
It's the safeties you need to be concerned about. It's less about the corners, more about the safeties.
Oh, the safeties who also haven't been playing very well, Malik Hooker and Donovan
That's
Wilson.
what you have to be concerned about.
Well, I mean, there's
put
a lot
Donovan
to be
covered,
concerned
right?
I'm concerned
because y'all still haven't. You mentioned it earlier, but we're talking receivers. You have to, and I said this yesterday. You have to respect Joe Mixon's ability to become a receiver out of the backfield when they most need it. And one of the best things to do when you're trying to get a young quarterback into an early rhythm is you give him those quick outs and those quick dump offs to the running back, and so that he can get in that little rhythm and it gets his confidence up, so he can start taking those shots downfield. Now, granted, you look at his yards, Joe Mixon as a receiver this year, only 150 yards receiving, but 9.9 yards per reception. So when he's targeted, that's damn near a first down every single time C.J. Stroud targets him. And they can use that to keep guys like DeMarvion Overshown and Micah Parsons off balance. And then because you have to respect that, what you should respect above all is Joe Mixon's ability to take the ball as a direct handoff and do some damage there. So good news is the Cowboys, we talked about, they were able to contain Bijan Robinson on the ground, contain Saquon Barkley on the ground, but the asterisk there was Bijan was able to do real damage as a receiver, and Saquon was able to do some damage. Right, Saquon didn't do as much damage as a receiver as Bijan, but he did damage in critical situations.
Did you guys talk about offense in terms of who needs to step up as a receiver?
We did, but you weren't here, so talk.
Yeah,
get after it.
I don't like throwing guys under. I don't consider it throwing under the bus because it's what we see on film.
Yep.
The effort has to improve. Just flat out outside of CD.
It's been all season.
It has been. It has been. And Troy Aikman was not wrong by his sentiments. Listen, Troy Aikman was not wrong. Broke it down then on film. It led me to the film and to go say, what is he talking about? Right? Because that's out of character for Troy Aikman. To make a statement, make a statement like that, especially against his brand, right? Just call it what it is. I went back and looked at it. It affirmed everything he said.
Yeah,
it has not improved.
No,
and it's very unfortunate. I'm not even going to say names. I'm going to say go back and watch the film. Go look at the play where Trey Lance threw an interception last week. It's not Trey Lance's fault.
I said that.
It's not Trey Lance's fault.
I said it wasn't.
It really. I almost said a word I can't say on the air. It makes me mad. It really makes me mad that you have a young quarterback that's going in there trying to get a spark for your offense, trying to get him fighting for his career, fighting for this team, and you half-tail it out there on routes.
Yeah.
It really there's no place for it. There's no place for it.
Lastly, here's the thing. We talked to McCarthy about that specific play yesterday, and McCarthy said in looking at it, Jalen Tolbert didn't think the ball was coming his way. Here's the problem I have with that.
Said his name.
But no, because we're talking about this play and that interception, right? Yeah. The problem I have with that particular thing is whether the play is coming your way or not. If it's not coming your way, you're the decoy. If you're the decoy, you have to run the route as if the ball was coming your way. Otherwise, you're telling them that it's not coming your way.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, you have to understand that the quarterback might have to go through his reads, and read 1 and 2 might not be there, so it still might come your way.
Let me just clear this up.
Tolbert is better than that play he put on film, and
but
he
it's
has
not
to
just
be
that
better.
play.
Yeah,
it's not just that play, and that's my problem. There's a number of interceptions
I
that Dak
believed in Tolbert. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought Tolbert was a guy that was going to step up and take that step forward. He has not done so.
Look at his run blocking.
There was a number of interceptions that Dak had this year where that same individual was doing the same exact thing.
I'll say this. I think
matter of fact, I'll just tell everybody to do this.
But now it's the question mark is back at the WR2.
Go
Earlier
back.
in the season, you was like, okay, he's taking that step, and now it's just like
it's my issue is effort.
Okay.
My issue isn't effectiveness. My issue isn't the ability to get in and out your breaks. My issue is not catching.
Potential,
it's effort. Yeah. Go look at every interception the Dallas Cowboys have this year.
And see what the effort is from the receiver
just watch it.
On that
Go
route.
on NFL Pro and say Dallas Cowboys interception. Look it up, and it will break it down for you. Every single one of them. Just watch.
And also, not to mention, if Jalen Tolbert was stepping up and he was a true wide receiver 2 or even 3,
then you still have your 4th round pick.
Correct. You don't spend a 4th round pick on Jonathan.
Absolutely correct.
That told me a lot of how they feel about him.
Yep.
And it told me a lot about how is his response going to be better going into this game now that they've made that trade, and then of course seeing that play it was really discouraging.
And bottom line is not to pile on JT.
He's not the only one,
right? Every receiver not named CeeDee Lamb has to do better.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. All right. Tomorrow it's a Say It With Your Chest Friday. We've got a little bit of hope. Isaiah kind of took that hope away initially, and then built it
substantial,
and then built it back up to where we can win this game. It can happen.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey, let's go.
Yeah, Brandon
Stranger
Aubrey.
things have happened, baby.
Let's go. Stranger Things. That's the theme of the week. All right, that does it for us. For Chris Beam in the back, Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Patrik Walker, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.